on to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from the Superdome. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Louisville.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball out to punt for New Orleans. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
Tell you what, partner, he might just be a rookie, but he certainly looks the part of a veteran NFL starter, and he carries himself like one leading the offense out there. In a lot of ways, he is advanced as a first-year quarterback, and he came in and was right at home with this offense.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Looking to throw. Howard. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A handoff for Warren. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Howard. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devon Godshaw getting in there and dropping it.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Thirty-yard line, 2nd and 12. Now a run with Warren. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Howard. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It gets this complete to Shaheed. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. First and 10.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Back to throw again. Working the middle here. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So first and 10 now from the 30. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. They'll look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Second and 6. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. They'll set up to throw. Out to the left. That's where the tight end Moreau is. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Two yards left on second down from the 9. Back to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the Saints are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. First and goal from just inside the 5. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start first and 10. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
This is second and 8. They toss it to Warren. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
And he's able to get it out of there. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it will be first and 10 as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here first and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. There's Chris Olave. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Slot man moves right. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
The tight end in motion right. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Now that run good for 7 yards, and that'll do it for the 1st quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. 2nd down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5. Looking to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Saints. Brandon Cooks from 8 yards out. And the Saints post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, we had the scoreless 1st quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the 2nd quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the 1st quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Blake Groupie now for the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Still in the 1st half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
On 1st down, Warren. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Howard. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Howard. Off play action. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, You better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
Howard now from the gun on third down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Here's Freiermuth again. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up second down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw again. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Howard. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Up the middle they go. Warren. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's caught. He gets it out to Austin. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Warren is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus on the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. This to the sideline and over everybody, incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Howard. They'll get the hook up there to Woods. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
2nd and 5. Back to throw. Howard has this complete to Woods. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second down and 3. Warren will try the right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds Austin complete. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Boswell's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Kamara up the middle. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Here's Matthew Hayball now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now it's 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Howard. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you don't want to pin this all on the quarterback, even when the pressure's coming. Not easy for them, but that's just something you can't do, is take that sack in the end zone.
No, you can't. But for all defensive line coaches, they're celebrating everywhere. Because what do they tell us in our meetings? It's all about the get-off, beating the offensive line at the snap of the football.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This is taken at the 15. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Back to throw again. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. He's got it. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Groupie for the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Third and 2. Back to throw. Howard over the middle. That's caught by Woods. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun. Howard got his man. It's Warren. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Second and a couple. Off play action. Howard. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And this is knocked away and incomplete, but I think it was a free play. Let's check the call. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
To throw is Howard. A final shot before break. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Try to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right?
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf. 73 yards. And the Steelers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you weren't going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and they take the lead by a point, 17-16. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Gets this complete to Shaheed. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down. He'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Well, they brought the lead into this third quarter, and now they're really stepping up, setting a tone here defensively.
They came right out roaring because you had to know that in the locker room, they talked about setting that tone that you just described, continuing the dominance that they exhibited in the first half.
How to approach this. Third down and 16 yards to go. Back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now Austin. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He juked him. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. Operating from the gun, Howard. He's got his target. That's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Howard. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
On the run, it's Warren. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a
rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Operating from the gun, Howard. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Boswell's kick is good, and they add on and get a little bit of a cushion. It's 20-16 now. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 2.
They run it again with Kamara, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Second and 10. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Good route. Good pickup for first down yardage. And that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll find Shough out to the right. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second and a couple. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. This one taken in by Olave. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
You want to put together a long drive? You've got to be able to convert on 3rd down, and they've done exactly that on this one. Sure enough, came up with another conversion right there.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A give to Kamara running right. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. T.J. Watt, always a disruptor, there to blow that play up.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming fourth down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a fourth down.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment.
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Here's Warren. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, he got great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Looking to throw. Howard. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll look to throw again.
Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Howard. And that will be incomplete.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Boswell's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And just shutting him off there.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He'll drop to throw.
Complete to Olave on the out route.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return.
The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
2nd and 1.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Warren.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Over the middle, that's caught by Woods.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
A handoff for Warren. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Now a run with Warren.
And a short gain down to about the 33.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
This is caught. It's Woods. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Up the middle they go. Warren. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jaylen Warren.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Steelers will add to their 4th quarter lead.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. That time, a 9-play drive. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
They'll set up to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice gain.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw again.
Again, it's Johnson.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It fights him off. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a give right side. Warren. And room there to work it inside the 25. 129 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.